AlertMedia introduced social intelligence last year as part of its risk intelligence suite. So since then, you've continued investing in the solution. What's changed with these latest upgrades?
Really, in simple terms, social intelligence is the collection of data from the online domain. So as part of that, emerging social media, deep and dark web, really the online space, and enabling organizations to easily understand conversations that might impact their business operations and turn what is essentially data into intelligence. And so launched social intelligence last year. This is an enhancement. This is an expansion of the capabilities. And so really we're rolling out expanded source coverage. So we believe that we have some of the best sources in the market, the best coverage in the market. Really data collection, data aggregation, and source coverage is part of the DNA of the AlertMedia platform. We pride ourselves on the coverage that we have and what that means and what that enables our customers to access. And so next up is our upgraded user insights. So the goal of this is really to enable practitioners to quickly and easily assess a threat that they might detect within the social sphere. And then also we've added our social intelligence capability to our threat management workflow. So it's all within the AlertMedia platform, enables users to triage content, task content, and really manage their threats as they come through and keep users in the platform to ensure that when time is of the essence, that work distribution is structured and those workflows enable users to go from point A to point B as quickly and easily as possible.
What does expanded source coverage add to social intelligence?
The social media domain is growing, fragmenting almost on a weekly basis. Those conversations are moving from fringe to mainstream back to fringe sometimes, from fringe into the deep and dark web. And so we are providing organizations with that broader visibility of early indicators and warnings, misinformation, cybercrime chatter, and really where any coordination might appear in that online domain. And so our social media collection now includes 65 plus singular sources across those mainstream, fringe, and dark web sources. And we're analyzing about 15 million records a day. And so that is a huge volume of data that we are bringing in. And, the goal here is that whilst we are expanding the connectivity with the threat landscape, we want to make sure that that volume of data is both accessible, but also digestible. And so we are ensuring that our users reduce their blind spots within that intelligence framework, within the intelligence landscape, but at the same time, making sure that that signal to noise ratio is high, and also making sure that the data collection is targeted and meaningful to our users. When you're going through this threat detection process, one of the key things that you're concerned about is, okay, is this threat real? Is it a bot? Is it something that I should be paying attention to? How do we escalate that? And the goal of user insights is really to enable practitioners very quickly, very easily, really understand what this means to an organization. So the goal of user insights is not to be a full-blown investigative platform. Really, it's for a SOC operator, somebody who's doing that first initial triage, to assess, understand, triage what a potential online threat might mean to the organization and what they should do next with it. What we are doing is really making sure that we can look through some of the post history to look for relevant indicators and warnings, and really assess intent, capability, and other actionable elements that we can use to inform our team, our stakeholders, about where we go next with this. And part of that is to be able to create shareable artifacts that we can share internally with our stakeholders so that then they can escalate from there.
How does the integration with the AlertMedia threat management capability change the workflow?
Once we've assessed, or even once we've had that initial threat detection phase, we want to start to loop other team members into this. We start to want to bring out that potential threat into a workflow that makes sense. And so what that means is we're now moving it into a Kanban process. Okay, what are we investigating? What are we currently working through? What needs to be worked through? Who is working through that? Who is taking the next step? So assigning individuals, assigning priority, adding notes to a potential threat so that a user can, or actually a team can very quickly collaborate. So that simple Kanban goes from something that seems like such a simple workflow into an incredibly powerful deliverable that enables people to streamline their work. And it's not just about our social intelligence deliverable, it's also really combining our social intelligence with our threat intelligence. So now users have a single workflow that is easily repeatable, very familiar to users. And it means that users from one location can work through that detection, through to potentially dissemination workflow if they need to trigger an alert or trigger an incident from a single workflow.